talking about now about the advantage. So the advantage of computer networking, like I say, computer networking, this is the foundation. Just like in the construction industry, the billows without get a strong foundation. You need to get a strong foundation. That's why I now make you forget. Follow this video, follow this full course, which is to get a brief understanding of computer networking. We will help you move to any parts of the computer industry you want to go, because you need to forget these basics. These are the basics. That's why this is now your channel where they teach technology in Creole. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and click the notification bell so you not go miss any video I'm going to upload. So be patient and follow the course and get the basic, which will help you if you want to take a computer skills or technology in the technology fields. You want to take any course as your career. This is not the first foundation where you need. You need to understand how computer works, how computer they operate, how they put computer together, how computer they behave, which is in this course we know the basic of computer networking. I'm going to teach you everything in Creole in your mother tongue. So once again, don't forget subscribe, like, comment, and click the notification bell so you're not going to miss any video, and share also for let this channel expand so we help one another for learn technology in real mother tongue. So now we talk about the advantage of computer networking. You see some of the main advantage of computer networking discussed here. One, the central storage of data. Files can be stored in the central node, the file server that can be shared and made available to every user in an organization. So what do you mean by this? For put computers them together, and more important, because we get a central storage. What do you mean by central storage? For example, it means this is not a file server. Let me find the color. For example, this is a file server, right? Let me do it right. Now, with this one. This is a file server. So what do you mean by this? When you get a central device, when you store everything, keep your files, your music, your video, whatsoever, place where you store them, then other people and they able will get access to them. That's why they talk about the central storage of data, because you need to get a file server, a server where you create everything, you store everything at this place. This is the way you store, it creates, sorry. So now this is not the file server this. Let us say these are the computers, computer here, another computer here. So these are not computers, right? So what do they talk like? This is another computer. So now all these computers they connect, which is we don't network them. We don't network. They all can communicate to each other, right? So this is not the file server. This now the server this. So this now also you keep your files them. So you keep your file. So this is the central storage we will try to talk about. Let us say you get another computer there so back. Because we try for it. So now all these ones are all connected. So they connect to this PC. So what did they talk about this side? What they talk about the central, this one, the central storage, that the advantage we get. It tell we say you go able for keep everything at this central, this file server here, this file server, all thing the here. So when you keep everything at this file server, then at the central storage, meaning all these computers, sorry, all these computers, all these ones, they get access for can't take things in also. Meaning say you just they put things one place. Everybody knows how to go get information. Then everybody know if you get information, knows how to go keep them. So when we pair computers together, give you the access for create a central storage. Also you able keep because you need for create a file server. So you keep everything, right? So now you try to talk about the central storage of data. So you create a server, you put the information there, all the computers that will connect, be able retrieve files from that. So we talk about connectivity. You see, there's a negligible range of abilities required to connect to a modern computer's network. The effortless of joining make it workable for every youth kids to start exploring the data. So you talk about connectivity. Connectivity means how you able to connect them. The range, because you get distance and the ability requires for you able to connect 10 computers there. Because as we go along with the course, this we get what we call routers. We get routers, we get switches. You understand? So when you talk about the connectivity, how you go able put them together, or the access we give we for able connect together, for able share things, we go make it easy for access things them because we don't do it together, just like the social space. For somebody for create somewhere where anytime when you feel like say, "Boy, I want to go sit down and talk with me people. Like, I want to go sit down like whether in a political space, whether in a social space. That platform, like what they say, not use the political aspect in this case. That party office would then make for able for come with people and together every day, anytime you able go there. It make things easy for people for share things together. So that's why they talk about the connectivities, how they're able to put things together, for able connect people and the ways them when they use for connect people. So you always talk about fast problem solving. Talking about the fast problem solving. It's a since an extensive procedure is disintegrated into a few smaller procedures, and each is taken care of by all the associate device, as a specific issue can be solved in less time. So they talk about say a fast for solve problems because every problem they by own. What it means say you go fix problem if you dey connect to the internet. That means say sometimes now this computer getting you problem, or maybe the internet. You no go feel say one computer no dey communicate. That means say na all get the problem. You understand? You see, it's like it says a few small procedures and each is taken care of by all associated devices and solve it in the less time. So it's helping you for fix the problems very fast because you need to identify specific things in easy procedures. Then we're talking about reliability. You see this reliability implies backing up information due to some reasons. The equipment crashes and so on. The information gets undermined on inaccessible on one PC. And another duplicate of the similar information is accessible in another workstation for feature use, which is prompt. So what they talk about here is talk about We talk about reliability, one of the characteristics. You get for being reliable and stable. But in this side, talking about the reliability is like you need to get a backup. That's why you see them create the file. We'll talk about the central storage. We talk about the central storage. Let me show you something. Where is this one? Let's now with this one. So reliability means say this is not the central storage. This is not the central storage. I need to change the pen. This is not the central storage, right? This is where they keep everything. All the computers then connect. All the computers then connect. Right? All the computers then connect. So what here they talk about in this section of reliability, we need to get a backup. A backup means for being reliable is like if this one, let me change the pen again. If this one fails, if this one fails, when it fails, it is able, if this one fails, all the backups where they can add, meaning say the similar information, they copy from this file server 1 to file server 2. So if this one fail, a crash, we get a cipher, retrieve all the information back. That's why I tell you, say, the reliability implies the backing up information. You get to get somewhere, because if we only rely on this file server 1, then what about this server break, a crash, or it go off totally entirely, the drives crash? We don't lose everything. They will not be able to retrieve some things anymore. But if we do a duplicate, which we should call backup, you get backup now. So if this is down, if this get problem, there's a replica of all the information from number 1 to number 2. So we just try for fix number 1 up again, and then copy all the information again from 2 to 1. So that means a reliable. So whatever things go down, we get a backup for get back on track very fast. But without the backup, it can crash us anytime. So in this place, we create reliability. Like for example, you get your phone with using Google Drive. Mostly, immediately you get picture on iPhone, you don't go Google Drive, iClouds. If your phone lost, these are backups. But when you get new iPhones, you put your iCloud information, then you get everything back. You iCloud, you Google Drive. If they use Android phone, then you lost your Android phone, you get another new one. Just log in with your Gmail information, then you retrieve everything. So this is what they talk about the reliability. One of the advantage, it helps you to back up things in case of the main device loss. So that is the main thing they try to tell you. So now we move to the disadvantage. Sorry, we move the slide. So now the next slide said flexibility. So now we're talking about flexibility. Say the innovation is known to be truly adaptable, as it offers a client chance to investigate everything about fundamental things. For example, programming without influencing their usefulness. The flexibility means you get the access for do anything to adapt, like you said here, the true adaptable, or it offers the client the chance to investigate everything about fundamental things like programming. You get a chance for use the software for check about the programming influencer useful things. You check about the flexibility of the network, checking the security of the network. With time we see the programming when we use. Then we're talking about the security through authorization. It's a security and protection of information, an additional ensure through the system. Adjust the system client approved to access specific records or application. So you're talking about security through authorization. You give the security, we get security protection for login. For example, you want login to Facebook. You need to get authorization, which is you need to put your username, you put your password. Then after you put your username and password, you send this information to the server of any website, whether it's Facebook or whatever things. Now the need for authorize you, even for the network, is the same. If you log in with your password of the Wi-Fi, then you need for verify and they authorize you if it match the same thing. That's why they talk about security through authorization. The need for authenticate to say, okay, I know this person. The computer can for say I know this person. I recognize this password. Then it will verify you. Then that means it don't authorize you before you will get access. You will get access to your Facebook, your Wi-Fi, whatever things you need. Where you need for verify yourself, put passwords or logins in anything. Right? So that's where we talk about the security through authorization. So that means it gets a security, which is you get for putting information, then it get for verified you. Just like we say, you put your username and password for the Wi-Fi. Then we get this, we're talking about the last one. We're talking about the storage capacity. You see, since you will share data records and assets with other individuals, you need to guarantee all information and substance and legitimately put away in the frameworks. With this system, administration innovation, you can do most of this with no issue, whilst having all the space on the required capacity. So you're talking about the storage capacity. That means you need to have a large space depending on the things, just like I say when we talk about the characteristics of high performance. Also, you get to watch the storage. For example, if you na vlogger or blogger, whatever things, you dey travel with your camera, you take a lot of videos, pictures, you get to make sure so you get a big memory card. A big memory card we go able take these videos them when you deal with. So you never for go and take 1 gig, which is videos the way you go for take, or camera and pictures the way you go for take around, will consume more than 2 gig of memories. So you get for get a larger memory card. So that's why they talk about the space, capacity space you get for storage. You get for get a big storage in your drive. Now we're talking about the disadvantage of computer networking. So the disadvantage, because we talk about the advantage, the good thing, that means the good thing of who gets computer networking, the good things. This now, disadvantage means some of the kind of bad things, not too bad things, So when we're talking about expensive, say executing of the network can be expensive in the case of an initial setup, as the wires and the cost of the cables are high, and sometimes equipment is also costly. So the disadvantages is like this. Sometimes it's expensive, you understand, because the cable length, we get different type of the cables there, what they deal with. You understand, the cable length very expensive, which is to talk about the wires. Sometimes the wires and cost of the cables are higher, you see here, and the equipment, because sometimes the equipment depending the organization you work on, the kind of protection what they need. Sometimes you get the protection of the firewalls and you need a router. So it depends, because there are so many different type of firewalls. Firewalls, you get the physical firewalls, we get software firewalls. It depends. So it costs you sometimes for set up the network. The device is expensive, the cables, now we have Cat5, Cat6 cables. The cables that we will use for connect, sometimes mostly expensive now. So the other thing is we're talking about the virus and malware. So computer networking can relate to the spread of viruses and to another computer through networks. So the other disadvantage, which is as a disadvantage, maybe the other side or the good side or the bad side. It can possible say somebody get virus from your own computer and send them for you through the network. That same virus will disturb your computer. They go to the other person in your own computer through the network. Maybe let us say send file for you, maybe in a document, on a picture, on a music. But if your own computer don't get that virus there, so when they travel at the network for go to your own computer, then your own computer get infected. So these are the disadvantages, like I say, can lead to the spread of viruses. So you will receive that file from one person. Then if you continue now, you say if your machine don't get infected, then when you forward your own files again to another person is the same. So you don't spread the viruses around different computers. So in any side way you send, now another problem. So we get to talk about management of the network. So management of the network is quite difficult, as it requires skilled person to handle a large network. It requires trained people who are employed in this work. So if you talk about how to manage this network, how to keep this network running, like all the things we say. When you talk about the characteristics, like scalability, high performance, flow of data, then we're talking about the advantages, and we talk about disadvantages. You need somebody, because forget somebody professional, somebody we understand how these things they work, somebody we know for protect, like we're talking about security, that side, but the characteristics. So we know for you a right security measures for protect you. So you need a skillful person. That's why it is this is the foundation. So you see it's difficult because it requires a skilled person to handle large networks. You see? Then it also requires trained people who are employed in these jobs. So it's difficult for get people away understand how computers they work. That's why I said you need to follow this course, like, subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't go miss any video when I go to post. And you need to follow this course to the end and get the basic understanding in your own Creole language for get a clear understanding. So that's why we try for help people and for train them, like you get one of these expertise in the tech world. So like you say, the management of network is difficult because you get to get somebody who get the expertise, we get the understanding of how the network they operate. It's just like a doctor. Sometimes you just go me doctor, me the heart, me body the heart, me food the heart. It get to solve the problem for you, because being a network engineer or being in the technical space, you're a problem solver. You get to be ready for come up with solution at any time. So it's difficult of people in way good at problem solving. Because sometimes they will kind of complain, just like the hospital. You just walk up, you go hospital, you just explain the problem. You expect the doctor to come and check you and come up with a right prescription for help you for solve your problem. It's the same for a technical space. So it's difficult for find somebody we qualified, we understand for manage a LAN network. For small network is okay. Small offices like 3, 4, 5 computers, it's easy. But when you work in big companies like they have hundreds of staffs, the machines, the printers, it's difficult to manage because there are several and different departments. So that's why I talk about the management of the network. It's difficult to find professionals. But I wish if you follow this course, you listen well in your own language, you subscribe, you like, you click the notification bell. I believe so you will get a brief understanding and it go easy for you. So we go and say lots of information. You see, in case of crash of the computer's network, it can lead to the loss of information or not being able to access. So they talk about say for lost information. But if you watch the advantage you will get, that's why the advantage of the computer network tells you say, if you create a backup, just like I give you the phone. If you use phone before we use memory card, we will put two things there. When the phone 12, we use the memory card. But nowadays, when you get iPhone, you make sure so you get iCloud. Then when you get Android phone, you make sure say you get Google Drive for keep things. So in case of your phone loss, in case of your phone for now what I kind of in case of your phone then TIFAM, you get where you keep your information. So in this disadvantage, if you don't do none of these things, let us say you get you just keep your computer like that. You don't get to the side where you keep your second information, then the computer spoil. God forbid bad thing, fire catching at the house, the computer burn. Are you able to retrieve information? So now the time for talk about loss of 14, loss of information. Then when it's spoiled, you don't make a backup. That's why the advantage of the computer network intelligence you need for doing backup. But the disadvantage now if you not do is the loss of information. Because when the machine spoil, you're not sorry for get the information back. All the things when you keep inside, just like normal days, you get phone, nobody know they use memory card, everything there inside it. Or if they use a memory card and take your phone or your memory card, you lose everything. You lose your contract, you lose your pictures, you lose most of your videos then. But nowadays that we get the iCloud, we get Google Drive, you can somebody can steal your phone, but you can go and buy a phone just now, log in and retrieve everything. So that's why they talk about loss of information. If you not do these things, the computer can crash, the network can crash, then you can lose everything. So now, last but not the least, we're talking about the system can be hacked. In the case of wide area network, which is one, there is a I go back. There is a threat of the system. There is a threat of the system that it is here some security features should be added to prevent short things. So if they talk about say the disadvantage, they can hack the network. The network can be hacked because we can want to call, like you said, they talk specifically mostly for this one. Wide area network. Wide area network mean the internet. The internet. The internet means the internet because the internet everybody they there. Somebody can know and trace you and hack your computer. So this is one of the disadvantages. They can hack your computer. That's why we talk about the characteristics and the advantage. Security is the main thing. So you as a network engineer, you need to put these things in place. You need to put provision for provide provision security for maintaining network in all means. That's why I tell you say in network man it talks about number one expensive. The equipment can get expensive because sometimes you need firewall. This firewall they help you for block. Now one of the devices when they use for security because you need for example, I use example for you to understand what firewall means. For example, when you go on an airport, you don't see they pass that first scanner, sending the scan you for iron, something like this, like a door. Then this, let us take this as the firewall in computer network. So when you pass through here and scan you first, the scanner scan if you get anything inside. Then when you pass, they can meet the officer, maybe immigration officer, airport security officer, whosoever. Then instead they check you. Then when you don't check you, then you can meet the final flight attendants. We will verify your information and confirm. Lastly, for you for board the bus to the flight. So in computer networking, these are different devices. This is a different device. This is another device we will act like the officer. We will get one with the number one, they act as the firewall. Number two, go act as the router. And number three, go act as the switch. Then the final for loading at the bus like the LAN local area network will tell you which side they go now because everybody don't verify you. So that's why I said you have to put the features together for stop the system from being hacked. So for sometimes for protect these things, it's expensive because you have to buy them devices there. And it's expensive depending the organization how waiting more sensitive than they play with. If the things so then they play with more sensitive, then they're not getting a choice. You as the network administrator or engineer, you have to let them know, say we need this type of device because for protect the system for being hacked. So this is end of this one. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss any video we will post. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Bye.